Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to Chilltown Hoops. I'm your host, Jermaine. The youngsters call me OG. My friends call me J-Dub. Let's get to it. So in the 80-81 season, the Boston Celtics win the NBA championship. Came back in dramatic fashion. They were down 3-1 to the Philadelphia 76ers. Came back and won. The next year, in 82, they're down 3-1 again to the 76ers. And they end up losing in the Eastern Conference Championship. You could sense that there's some tension there. The next year, in 83, they lose to the Milwaukee Bucks, and not in dramatic fashion. They get swept right out of the playoffs. Now, this is the same crew that won the NBA championship 2 years ago with Cedric Maxwell, Larry Bird, Kevin McHale, Robert Parrish, Gerald Henderson, ML Carr. Like, they had a damn good team. They made one change. They switched out Bill Fitch for KC Jones. They're in the NBA Finals the next 4 years. Fast forward to the 1997-98 season. The Los Angeles Lakers won 61 games. They're in the Western Conference Championship against the Utah Jazz. Mopped out of the playoffs. Swept in the Western Conference Finals. The very next year, 1999, play against the San Antonio Spurs in the semifinals. So now we're going backwards. Swept out of the playoffs. They made one change, with the exception of Eddie Jones and Glenn Rice. They make one huge change. They exchange Del Harris into Phil Jackson. They win the NBA championship the next 3 years. They're in the NBA Finals 4 times in the next 5 years. Rewind the clock back to 1988-89. Actually, 87-88, 88-89. So, the Chicago Bulls lose in the second round in 88 to the Detroit Pistons. The very next year, they're in the Eastern Conference Championship. They play against the Detroit Pistons, and they lose again. They got the same crew: B.J. Armstrong, Bill Cartwright, Horace Grant, Scottie Pippen, Michael Jordan. They make one change. They exchange Doug Collins into Phil Jackson. They win the NBA championship 2 years later, and they go on to win the NBA championship 6 times in the next 8 years. It could be something as simple as just exchanging a coach, because you clearly got the formula in Boston. You were in the NBA championship the year before. You've been in the Eastern Conference Championship 5 times in the last 7 years. So the formula is clearly there. The way this unit was built with Marcus Smart, then Jaylen Brown, then Jason Tatum, then getting Robert Williams, then getting Grant Williams. So this unit has obviously not peaked. They were in the NBA championship last year with a different coach at the helm. I think that Coach Mazzulla, I think he jumped the line. I think that he was Danny Ainge's guy, and I do think that Danny Ainge wanted to hire him at some point. I don't think he wanted to hire him this soon. And with Ime Udoka getting into the scandal that he got into, that moved Coach Mazzulla up the line. But it's obvious that he wasn't ready. But what do you mean it's obvious that he wasn't ready? They were a top 3 seed in the East. But a lot of that was smoke and mirrors. They're a team that plays on the long ball line or at the rim. There's nothing in between offensively. There's no other action in between offensively. They don't have any low post scoring. They got a lob threat in Robert Williams, sure. But their big man in Al Horford, who's a little long in the tooth, shoots the long ball primarily. He doesn't get anything in the mid-range. And there's nothing worse when you're at that level. There's nothing worse as a coach when you lose your crew. When you lose your crew, it's almost impossible to get them back. And I think he's lost them. And how do I think that? When he says in a post-game interview, I didn't have my team ready. We weren't prepared. Well, you weren't prepared because you're out. That's the only way that this can be defined. If you're in, your crew is going to be 100% prepared. And there are defining moments in series. So this Boston Celtic team, who comes into this series against a hungry and determined Miami Heat team, is more talented. They got more depth. They got better players. Miami's got the better coach, and they're more confident. Coach Spo puts them in position where they can be effective. And they outwork guys. More than anything, they outwork guys. So a guy like Jason Tatum, who in the first 2 games, through the first 3 quarters, he's averaging 27 a game. 27 a game. No field goals in the fourth quarter in the first 2 games. None. Now, for your star player, that could be a big deal if he doesn't do anything else except that. But Jason Tatum does other things. He gets on the backboard. He distributes, but he wasn't doing any of that stuff. So he was completely ineffective. Jaylen Brown is another one. Game 1 was a defining moment for him. 6 turnovers. Not taking care of the basketball. Allowing Miami to have other opportunities to score. And I mentioned the coach and how much better Spo is at one, making adjustments and recognizing mismatches. So he's got action on the right side of the floor where he recognizes that he can get a switch between Bam Adebayo and Jaylen Brown. And once he gets that switch with Bam Adebayo and Jaylen Brown, he's telling Bam Adebayo, go after him. Do not let him off the hook. You're a bigger guy. You're more physical. You can out-physical him to the basket. And that's what happened. That's exactly what happened. That's an adjustment right there. That's a scheme that works. In Game 3, I think that in Game 3, to come out with the effort that they came out with, I think that Mazzulla completely lost that crew. So whatever he says moving forward, I think it goes in one ear and out the other. I don't think that they're on board with him at all. With him at all. I think that there's going to be a change at the helm. And I don't think that it needs to be something drastic. Like you got to completely flip this unit around. I don't believe that. No. Because I think that I think that they have the formula. They got all the ingredients. They just got the wrong chef in the kitchen. That's the problem. Speaking of chefs, I watch the Denver Nuggets, and before the series started, I had the Lakers in 5. And the reason why I had the Lakers in 5 was because I thought that Joker would have to defend at a high level in this series. And I didn't think he could do that. Against Rudy Gobert, who's not a scorer, he didn't have to defend against him. Against DeAndre Ayton, who they don't involve in the offense, he didn't really have to defend against him. Now you add Anthony Davis, who they implement in the offense, who they go to pretty regularly. He's going to have to defend against him. And I didn't think that he could do it. That's why, that's what I thought the difference in this series would be. I thought that Anthony Davis would constantly put him on the defense, and it would wear him down eventually. But like I just mentioned to you guys a moment ago, there can be a defining moment in a series that will dictate the rest of the series, and that was Game 1. What happened in Game 1 when Joker came out on the backboard, being aggressive, running the floor, which is what I thought Anthony Davis would be able to do better than him, because Anthony Davis is a better athlete. I see Joker running the floor. Joker has gotten himself in such better shape. That's affected his game in a positive way. I think he dropped like 30 pounds. And once he did that, he started winning league MVPs. So I thought Anthony Davis would be able to outrun him, because that's a part of the Lakers offense where Anthony Davis, when they get in transition, Anthony Davis just runs right to the rim. He just runs right to the rim, and James will get it to him. Schroeder will get it to him. Austin Reeves will get the basketball to him. That's a part of their offense. And I thought, in addition to him running to the rim, in addition to him getting in the half court and being physical with Joker, who's a physical big, I thought that would be the difference in this series. Because I said this before, not just this series started, I said it before the playoffs started. I thought that the Lakers were going to go as far as Anthony Davis could take them. And this is as far as he could take them. Now, you would look at the numbers and go, well, damn, he went almost 29 and 14 in the series. Well, a lot of that is misleading. What I mean when I say a lot of that is misleading, so the fact that they don't go to him in the fourth quarter because he doesn't demand the basketball, he doesn't demand the basketball. A lot of that stuff is early. And when you get in the meat and potatoes of the game, you don't really get much out of him. He gets a lot of looks in the fourth quarter that he gets in the second quarter. And the big guy that he is, he doesn't capitalize on them. So that mid-range that they were giving him in the first quarter, he was knocking that down. And he was going to it in the third quarter. He was going to it in the fourth quarter in games 1, 2, and 3. Yesterday, it just didn't look like that. I saw a completely different Anthony Davis. I saw a defeated Anthony Davis. I saw a guy who I have to be out here. And because I have to be out here, fine. I'm going to compete, but I'm not going to compete like I did against Jaren Jackson. I'm not going to compete like I did against Kevon Looney. I'm not going to compete like I did against him. But the thing that I really enjoyed watching Tristan Thompson's effort. Because I'm thinking to myself, that kind of energy should exude through everybody. Now we should all give that effort, only except they didn't. They didn't give that effort. And the thing that I want to harp on, and I want to make sure that I'm 100% clear on, that Denver team is a damn good team. And the mark of a great team is them recognizing who they are and sticking to that. So when you get the Lakers who were changing up the lineup, where D'Angelo Russell will start one game and then he'll come off the bench and then Schroeder will start, there seems to be some confusion. There seems to be some uncertainty. Mike Malone doesn't have any of that. I got 8 guys. I got 8 guys that I'm going to, and this is who we are. We're not switching up the lineup. We're not switching up the rotations. This is what we're doing. And it worked. Getting Joker and Jamal Murray in the action that he gets them in. For example, there was one play which it's a design play. It's a design play. It wasn't even coming out of the timeout. It was a design play. You got Austin Reeves covering Aaron Gordon, and you got Dennis Schroeder. You got Austin Reeves covering MPJ, and I still don't understand this. You got Austin Reeves covering MPJ, and you had Schroeder switched on to Aaron Gordon. So when the Denver Nuggets go big, they do what they can to spread out the offense, not just spread out the offense, but get action through Joker going right to the basket. Not on the perimeter. When they go big with Joker, MPJ, Aaron Gordon, and KCP, they get action going straight to the basket, not just on the perimeter. So I got Austin Reeves on the left. I got Austin Reeves on the right wing covering MPJ, and I got Aaron Gordon on the right wing, and I got a pin down. Well, Joker already sees that this is going to be a switch, and he already sees the miscommunication before it even happens. He already sees the miscommunication between Austin Reeves and Schroeder, and he's looking at Aaron Gordon without saying a word, and saying to him, "You're going to be wide open." Because they're going to try to switch, there's going to be a miscommunication, and you're going to be wide open. Well, lo and behold, there's a pin down. There is a miscommunication between those two. Aaron Gordon darts to the basket. Joker gets it to him, and one dunk. And this is the kind of action, and not only is this the kind of action, this is the kind of brilliance from Joker in terms of his basketball IQ, where he can see the game a step ahead. The last guy that I remember that could see the game like that, James, Bird. I'm talking about a playmaker. James, Bird, Stockton. Guys who can see the game a play or two ahead and already know what's going to happen. He was fantastic. Fantastic. That Denver Nugget team, they were better than the Lakers all the way around. And everything that they started with, that the Lakers tried to counter, it was almost like they knew it, and they countered right back. And the Lakers had no answer for them whatsoever. The Lakers had no answer. So, congratulations to the Denver Nuggets. They were clearly the better team. I think they got a really good shot at winning the NBA championship. I do. I think they got a really good shot at winning the NBA championship. I think they're going to have their hands full with this Miami Heat team. And I'm going to be there to watch. 100%. I'm going to be there to watch. So, I'll be here, guys. You know where to find me. So, until then, take it light, but take it.